trying to show off my shirt. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to make content. I don't want to write a blog post. I don't want to... I sound like a little kid. I sound like a toddler. But that's what we sound like. That's what we sound like. We may not feel like we sound like that, but oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this for my business. Meh, 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 meh. And I'm like speaking from experience as myself so many times. So many times. Like, we are so negative. Like, we're just like, oh, I have to do this. I don't want to do this, but I have to do this. And it's wild how genuinely just changing your mind space, your head space, your mind, changing your mind space. It's called mind space, like MySpace, but your mind. We can like psych ourselves out before we even start. There are, of course, like, life is hard sometimes, a lot of times, and we are busy, and it can feel like we have nothing to do, or nothing to say, I should say. We have nothing to talk about, we have nothing to offer, or we just can't think of ideas. But the truth is that, like, we have lots of ideas and we have lots of things that we can share and we can do. It's just we tend to self-sabotage by not showing up. And then we get mad because we're like, see, I knew it. I knew I wouldn't book any clients, but like, we didn't book any clients because like we didn't show up. We didn't share value. We didn't do anything. It's like the little stick figure thing that's like poking you to like do something, like poking the stick at something. Little stick figure with a stick. We're all guilty of it. We really are. I know for me personally, I've been working on the I don't want to, but I'm gonna do it anyway for 5 minutes. I'll just do 5 minutes of this. I'll just see what I can get done in like 10 minutes. And knowing me, because mental health is a real thing, and it can be incredibly debilitating and completely throw us off course, right? So some of the best ways to work around that is to create either structure or pre-plan. So if like you know that like at least once or twice a month you're gonna fall into your spiral of an abyss and it's gonna be really hard to do much of anything but like get out of bed. Do your best to take advantage of your high energy days and just knock out content or knock out products or whatever it is that you need to do. Just batch it. Batch it all when you're like, yes, I'm feeling good, I'm happy, like I'm doing this right now. Batch all the high energy stuff for your good days. So that way when you are in your low slumber and you just want to potato, like you're like, cool, I got my laptop, I don't have to go anywhere, I can just sit here and just click buttons and not have to think at all. Or, you know, whatever that looks like for you. Everyone is different. Or you can have somebody who's your accountability partner, or hiring a coach if you're at a point where you can hire a coach. But having your partner, if you have a supportive partner or a supportive friend that like gets it, try your best to like create accountability with one another. So that way you're like, this is what I'm doing this month and I'm gonna get it done. It doesn't matter if you're like on that deadline cusp of like, all right, I'm gonna show up now, like last minute and get this done. Or if you're somebody who can do little bits and pieces over a longer period of time, then do that. But whichever one gets you getting tasks done is all that matters, because we don't wanna do it. You know, we don't wanna do it. And that's okay. But sometimes it's also helpful to consider, like, okay, I don't really want to do this right now, but if I don't do this right now, then I'm not gonna get this outcome. If I don't get my assignments in for school, I'm not gonna get a good grade. If I don't get that oil change for my car, I may not have a car for much longer. You know, all of these things, like there's so many things we don't want to do, but we need to and we have to. And we can shift it into the I don't want to, or I have to do this, or this sucks, to being like, okay, How is this benefiting? Is this like maybe I get to be an inspiration for someone. I don't really want to do this because I get nervous and words are all over the place, and then I get flustered, and then I'm like, but who am I to do this? But there's so many other people, and then I have to like remind myself of what I tell other people of like, but it's you. People want to hear from you because it's your perspective. It's your universal experience, not somebody else's experience. And your experience is valuable and your input is valuable because maybe you're saying or doing the exact same thing as somebody else, but it's you who like triggered something for them, and they're like this like aha moment, or this like, man, like I've heard this like 50 million times. So like, I finally get it. Like maybe you talked slow enough. Maybe you talked fast enough. Maybe you're like me with the hands and the things, and it just like clicked, and they're like, yes, this makes sense. I'm so glad I watched this video. I'm so glad I read this post. I'm so glad, whatever it is. And thinking about the aftermath that can happen before you start the task can be really helpful to kind of like get things moving. And then once you get things moving, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. Like, it wasn't so scary. It wasn't so bad. Like we're little kids. Like that's why I'm like, I can't adult today. I can't adult today because like I've procrastinated on creating content for so long because I get into my head. I'm like, oh, I just don't have time. I just don't blah, 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 blah. What am I even going to talk about? And like, just so many excuses. But I'm like 7 videos in right now, about between like doing some little like video ones on my phone and doing it on my camera. And like, I can't tell you, like there's such a momentum. Like there's this like momentum. I'm like, the first video was like, all right, here we go. What are we gonna do? I don't know. And then now I'm like smiles and I'm like feel good. I'm also like proud. Like I think that's also part of the like in this video, is because like I'm proud. Like I've sat here and been like, oh, I should really work on this. 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 And then I didn't. And I didn't again. And I didn't again. But then I was like, you know what? What if we just did like one video? And I was like, oh, that only took like 20 minutes. Like, okay. And then I had some coffee. And then I was like, all right, well, let me go find I'm lucky I even had enough SD cards that were empty. Like I have to go, and that's like on my task list after this, is to go and clean those up. But like, I was like, all right, well, if I have like 15 minutes on one more of these, then I'll make another video. And I did, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm making another video. And then, I get my son from school, and I was like, all right, I could probably knock out like another 2 videos while I wait for pizza to be done. I'm not doing anything anyway. Like, what am I gonna do? Just scroll TikTok? And like, it's not gonna be helpful for me. Like it's not pursuing my dreams. I'm consuming way more content than I should be when I know that it's just self-sabotaging and I'm in a doom scroll. But then I can also hyperfixate on stuff like this where I'm like, yes, more videos. I have more ideas. All the ideas are flowing. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just keep creating until the sun starts to set and I lose this like natural lighting that's coming in my window. I didn't want to make a video. I was like, I should make one. And I procrastinated on it all week. I was like, I'm going to make it. Oh, well, I should go and deep clean the house, which is helpful, but not what I was supposed to do. Or, well, I could go in, this other task that is beneficial, but not what you needed to work on that day. And it is a form of self-sabotage. And it's sneaky because it's still productive. You're still getting stuff done, but it wasn't the main task that you should have been working on. So if you don't feel like adulting today, do it anyway, but try to find a spin around it. Try to, be like, okay, I don't really feel like doing this, but like, I know that me doing this might inspire somebody else. Or I know that me doing this is going to help somebody who otherwise wouldn't have gotten helped. Or I have bills to pay. you know? And if I don't show up and if people don't know who I am, then like, I ain't got no money, you know? Find that momentum. Even if it's just like one other example is like, I'll want to go back to sleep and I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to sleep for like 15 more minutes or 20 more minutes. That's a lie. I will be back in bed for like 2 hours and then I'll be like, shit, like I had to get anything done today. And then you're all mad at yourself and then you're like beating yourself up and then you're even less likely to want to get stuff done because you were already being mean to yourself. Whereas I'm like, man, I'm really tired, but I could go and do this thing that makes me happy, that's productive, and then, you know, slowly like introduce yourself to things or creating a structure. So like now that I know that like, all right, it's not so scary to create a couple of videos in a row. Okay, I could do this once a week. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just do like a couple of videos, like maybe once a week, every other week, you know, depending on what my energy levels are like, and then that's it. And then I'm done. And I did it. And I did the thing I needed to do. And that wasn't so hard. Also, rewarding yourself. So like for me, like I was like, all right, son's at school. I'm gonna go and just knock out as many videos as I can before he gets home. And then I was like, all right, I feel good. I feel good. And then I was like, all right, I gotta go and heat up our pizzas. So let me just see how many little quick videos I can put together before our pizza's done. And now, like, I'm gonna finish up these videos and get them, you know, saved on my computer. And I'm gonna go have some pizza and have some wine and like relax because I did a good job. I did a good job. Like, go me. I did the dang thing. So creating momentum, structure, shifting your mindset around how this task is going to be beneficial to other people, you know, or to yourself, and a reward system. Even if it's just like, I'm gonna let myself read for 20 minutes or I'm gonna go read for an hour for the rest of the day because I got all these things done that I needed to get done even though I didn't want to, because you don't always want to do any of the things because we just don't want to. We want to keep things simple and be in our little bubble and not have to like step out of it, and we want to stay in our comfort zone. And sometimes some of the tasks that we have to do don't really feel like they're in our comfort zone. So if you needed this reminder, I know I needed this reminder. So I hope this was helpful. And if you do struggle with, you know, maybe you do need accountability or, you know, help with getting tasks going, I started the Startup Collective. I'm really excited about it. I have a monthly membership and an annual membership, and we will have monthly master classes. I'll do live Q&As. And most importantly, relating to this video, is I will have accountability check-ins every month. So if you are struggling with accountability and like you love your friends or your family or your partner, but they're not exactly the best accountability partner, come join the collective, the Startup Collective, where you can get that from me. Or somebody on my team eventually. I'd love to have somebody be like a partner who also joins and is helping people stay accountable. And you get to join other entrepreneurs who, you know, might need to see you sharing about all the things you accomplish, and they'll be like, damn, I gotta catch up next month. I was not very good to myself this month. So I'm very excited, super happy to be launching it. And I will have all those details in the notes, the description below. Anyway, if you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions relating to brand design or marketing, brand awareness, let me know. I'm working on both having this for my blog content, repurposing, and just showing up and trying to be the most help I can be, because YouTube has helped me tremendously. So I hope it helps you as well. Okay, I'm gonna go have some pizza now. Bye.